I've often wondered why I'm so addicted to working with clay. I know the feel of it against my palms. It feels wonderful, almost therapeutic. But it has to be more than that. I think perhaps the comparison I make is the clay to us as people. There's that saying that says, "From dust thou art, to dust returneth." I think I compare our lives or the life of a fetus to the entire process. First, it's just a mouthful of earth, and then combined with water to make a form which can be molded or stretched or transformed according to one's wildest imagination. And then one imprints on it designs to give it textures and layers. And then you let it dry and harden. And sometimes it doesn't cope against the element and cracks and breaks like we do under pressure. But sometimes, even if it cracks, it still holds its original form. It survives high temperatures in the kiln, and once it comes out, it's transformed into a thing of beauty, flaws and all. Hi, my name is Revati Sharma Singh. I'm an artist. I work with different mediums, but clay is by far my most favorite. I'd love to show you my pottery studio and talk through my process. I love working with clay. I love using it in its most natural form. Whether it's smooth porcelain or it's a groggy textured clay, I love to let the character of the clay actually come through. I roll out slabs of clay and then I make forms of it that are free-flowing. I embed them with grain, so almost as if to create a script, a language of its own. Because I believe that language of love or the language of pain needs no translation. It's something that everybody understands. And for me, the language of food is very similar. It's a language that is universal and it cuts down the barriers of race, of class, of color, of religion. And I think in a way, it kind of binds us all together. My love affair with pottery first began when I was 14. That summer, I lived and learned with the great potters Minnie and Mary in a small artist village called Andreta in Himachal Pradesh. It's very close to where my grandma used to be, near her tea estate, and we used to spend every summer with her. But that summer, I spent hours turning the wheel with my foot and creating little pieces of magic from the earth. The rest of the time I spent wandering down the fields and the hills on my own. And I don't think I realized it then, but I was hooked for life. I have a little studio at the back of my garden. I spend a lot of time there. And I very often I work till quite late. I start sometimes at night and I finish in the wee hours of the morning. It's a very, very quiet, peaceful time. No phones, no doorbell ringing, no kids screaming, and no dog barking. And it's just me and my time. During the pandemic, I spent a lot of time in my studio. All exhibitions had been cancelled for the year, and my teenage kids were finally home from university. My experiences have always provided me with the inspiration to create and to question. But this time, I think I found for the first time that I had the mental space to develop ideas and draw inspiration from ancient pottery techniques like sprigging. Without realizing it, I had an entire body of work ready, which was kind of timely because my solo show at the Sachi Art Gallery's art fair was suddenly announced again. I did it with Navya Art Gallery from New Delhi, and it was so exciting because it was my only show in 2020. Often when I'm disturbed, I think in terms of centering myself. Like one centers a mound of clay on a pottery wheel. You can do what you want with it so long as it's centered. And the wheel may be spinning furiously, but the clay, although also in motion, is quietly steady. These are some parallels that I draw between centering on the wheel and centering and quietening one's spirit and going inside. For me, pottery is my meditation. It is a way of life, and it's something I don't think I can ever stop doing.